So what can I say about our guest today? When Daniela walks into a room, she's like a little firecracker. She's blonde and beautiful, Venezuelan, and she has amazing legs, and she looks fabulous in a dress, and she's full of colour. And she will walk in and she will grab your face and she will kiss you and make you feel so, so loved. That's who she is. And she literally just makes everyone feel that way, but so, so genuine.
That's rare.
Yeah, you're going to love meeting her. I think, you're going to get on. Suddenly you've got a new best friend. That's going to happen today. So in my research about her, I knew she worked as a realtor. She has a big online presence. She works with her husband. Dead curious to know how that goes. And I'm not sure if it was his business first and she got involved, but I definitely feel like she's a leader. So we'll find out about that. But so she's a realtor, but I found out she was a lawyer. Oh. So yeah, interested to know
what kind of law. That's fascinating.
And how it changed, and also what she came across and obstacles she faced when she was working as a lawyer. But yeah, so she's fun. She's I don't know where this conversation's going to go. And she speaks great English, but she talked about that, so it'll be interesting. When we both start talking, the two of us together, it gets lively. So
I can't wait to see that interaction.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. I think we might laugh, we might cry, and what was I going to say? Oh yeah, also, if you give her your phone number, just be prepared for really, really long voice messages, because that's what she does.
But I love that.
Yeah.
It's like a story and a message, and then you're good to go.
Oh, I just think she's going to just lift everyone, lift us, lift you. We're going to have a great conversation, and you've definitely got yourself a new realtor, because you won't want to go with anyone else once you meet her.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome. My name's Kerry Sheffield, photographer and CEO of my own successful business. I'm also the host of She Networks, a great believer in lifting up women and loyal supporter to those that are around me. We are all surrounded by incredible women who are breaking the molds in this thing called life. Behind every successful online persona is a real person facing struggles, failures, and living real life stories that don't always have happy endings. We will have an honest conversation, dispel this myth of perfection, and find out what they consider a success, how they achieved it, and learn what they are still reaching for. You are not alone. Join the conversation.
Well, hello, Daniela. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you on here. We're just buddies. We're just friends. And you are...
You're my friend.
Yes, I know. But do you know what? We probably see each other...
Not as often as we would love to.
But not like this. And this is probably going to be the longest conversation we've ever had. Although you do send epically long voicemails. Was it voice text? What's the thing? Voice messages. I said to Stephanie earlier that once you get to know her, she's going to be your new bestie. She'll send you like these 3-hour long, and I love them.
I love voice notes.
Yes.
It makes my life easy.
Yeah.
That way I don't need to text all my ideas. Since
I know.
I'm always running.
Because you've got 5 times as many words as everybody else, and so you just need to get them out.
Yes.
But how did we meet?
How did we meet?
Probably at some event.
Parties. I always see you at parties. Maybe in
I'm a party queen.
Parties.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But it's just that.
Wait, I met you Chinese year at Susie Lee's house.
Was it that time?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It really, like, I love your hairstyle. You had that.
At the bob.
Yes. And I remember reaching out to you and saying, you look fabulous.
I know. And that's what you do.
Oh my goodness, I love your hair. And that's how we met. Now I remember.
But, you're kind of I'm jumping forward a little bit here, but you're kind of an anomaly.
I love that word.
Anomaly. I said it right the first time. Anomaly. in where we are. Because you are bright and beautiful and wonderful and you look the part, but you are just a super nice human being. And genuine. And I know that you seek the genuine out. Mm-hmm. But you seem to be really, really good at ignoring the insincere and treating them the same anyway. Like, I know you're surrounded by people that aren't so genuine, but you it doesn't matter to you. You just embrace them with the same love and passion. And
I do believe, Carrie, that we all have. I've heard it from this guy that he said we have soul signatures, and I do believe each one of you has a soul signature. So when you say I ignore that, yes, I do. I have a soul signature. I'm very content with who I am, and I'm pretty aware who is genuine and who is not. And even with those that are not, they won't make me change. I will just not have them in my inner circle.
Yeah. You're my baby sister, you are. So we're going to talk about how lovely you are. And, and I don't want people to think that I'm going to have guests on here and I'm just going to tell them how lovely and wonderful they are. I'm not kissing ass here. Like, I'm going to have all sorts of different people on here, but I do believe when you see something shining in somebody that you should say, because I don't think we do that enough. I think we tell people how they look or we compliment them in a picture, but we don't look beyond the visual. We don't look beyond what we see.
The heart,
yes.
The inside, because it comes from inside. That's what you irradiate.
I mean, I personally, as a compliment, want to hear more about how I make people feel than how I look in the dress.
Exactly.
But you can tell me, and I said you can tell me I'm pretty too. But I'm just saying, I want people to go.
It never hurts. We're women, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. But yeah, just don't tell me I've put on weight. But no, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think it's really wonderful if you have the time and the inclination to look at someone and see them, and you see people.
I do see people.
Yeah. And
I do see people more than physically speaking. I see through the eyes, and that's why probably when I met you, I felt you're one of the most real people I've ever met. Actually, I saw your husband yesterday, and I told him that.
Yeah, I love that.
I said, Carrie is just real. You are real, my friend. And maybe that's why we had that connection.
Yeah. I think some people, and I'm starting to learn about this. I don't know enough about it, but I'm going to look into it a little bit more. I do know somebody one of my clients in Los Angeles that is an energy healer, Missy, and she was fabulous and just radiated serenity. But she said that some people just live on a higher vibration, and it's funny. On the way over here, I was listening to a podcast, and they said,
"Me too."
Yes, and they said that this woman would sit in a restaurant because she'd been out for dinner with her. It was on the Goop podcast, actually. She'd sit in a restaurant in sweatpants and a blazer or whatever, like being completely under the radar, but people gravitated towards her, and I think certain people just function on a higher radiation. So like animals come to you, we know the doggies come to you, and people come to you, and I mean the fact that you're bright and vivacious and bubbly, that would be intimidating for some, but the fact that you bring such genuine humanity with it. So let's talk about where all that comes from. So you're from Venezuela.
I am from Venezuela.
Yes. And talk about your life in Venezuela, where you started, what that's about, and how long have you been here?
I've been here for how long I've been married, so it's been already 15 years. But my time in Venezuela was one of the greatest times of my life, because since I love real stuff, real people. Venezuela is that for me. My family, my friends since I was little, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts. Here, not that I became a loner, because I'm always with good friends. Thanks God, I'm lucky. But I don't have a family here.
No.
So for me, Venezuela brings memories. And I miss them. I miss the food. I miss my work too, because I'm doing something totally different.
No, and we're going to go and talk about that.
Yes, totally different. But for me, Venezuela is love. It's happiness. It's nature. The beach. I used to do wakeboarding all the time.
But Oscar's from Venezuela
too.
So he came over here. Was he here, or you just came here together?
No. I remember I met him because he was visiting. He was studying here at the university. In Arizona, and he went to visit his family, and I knew his mom And I will never forget.
So you knew his mom before him?
Before, and she told me that she wanted me to meet him. And I said, whoa, this guy, the mom is looking for a girlfriend. He probably is not too handsome.
I mean, I think he probably is.
I got really surprised when she finally made it. When I saw him, I said, that's my husband. Yeah. I felt it in my heart as soon as I saw him.
Love at first sight.
And that's how it happened. I was finishing law school. I was supposed to be in Italy right after I graduated, and we changed path.
So how did you meet his mom?
His mom, it was, I remember it was a fashion event, and she was part of this group of ladies that helped a foundation, and that she needed to dress me. And I was a law student. I was not used to do modeling. But his sister asked me if I could model some earrings and some jewelry for that event. Mm-hmm. And the mom, surprisingly, was the person that was in charge of my outfit and my whole thing. So that's how I met her, and that's how she told me that she was a painter, and I love art, that. So that's how we connected. I was super excited when I met her.
And you just lost her.
And I just lost her.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to make you sad right now, but now it makes so much more sense to me, this loss that you've had and how the impact that it's had on you and your family the past couple of weeks.
You know what, Kira? I've never lost someone that I really love. My mom and dad are alive. My grandpa passed. From the side of my mom too, they do pass, but I was not so connected as I was connected to her. Mm-hmm. So this process is very new for me.
Yeah.
And it's very weird because I've never went through it. So it surprised me and it teaches me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm really sad. Sometimes I feel relief that I know she is in somewhere that it's better than this world, that it's so lost.
And she was suffering,
she was suffering. So I do believe she's with us.
Yeah.
And she's in a happier place.
But this past week and so has been a little overwhelming.
Yes.
It's because you're in another place right now, and you're digesting that and you're working through that. It's called grief, right? So
I remember I took 2 days off, and I remember I had to start working again, and I had to do a video for that new listing I had, and I was not feeling it. I had to wear colors, and I was trying to be me, and it was weird, but it came out perfect because I tried to concentrate on my goals and what I was supposed to do that day. And I guess that's life.
Well, I think that from these experiences and your life exists because you met her in lots of ways. Like the life that you have exists because you met her. Yes. But so you probably never go back to being the person you was. You're going to shine bright like you always did, and your personality's not going to change, but there's always going to be a part of you that will be forever different now. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that your just heart gets marked with, and it could, whether it be good or bad. Yes. And I wish I'd met the woman, because I would have loved to have met
I have friends that have told me, I met her through you. Mm. The way you just express about her, about her art, about her personality, it's like I feel I know her. That's what my closest friends have told me, because she was pure love and pure energy.
I wish I had met her. For someone like you to have loved her that much, she must have been incredible.
Yes. When I love someone, I love deeply.
Yeah. And so you have Oscar.
Yes.
And you have your boys. You have 2 boys?
I have 2 boys.
2 boys.
Oscar and Carlos.
Oscar and Carlos.
Yes, and Bella. Don't forget about Bella. No. And all my friends' dogs that I adopt them.
I know. I know. You always seem to be on Facebook with a picture of you and another dog.
Right now I have Penny, my neighbor's dog. So I always have a different dog.
Because you have time for that, right?
I don't know how. My husband was telling me, I don't understand why you also get new dogs all the time. And I'm like, they make me happy.
Yeah.
They're honest.
And they love you.
They're beautiful and they love me.
Yeah.
I slept with her with this one, Penny. She's not my dog, and she slept on my neck all night.
Wow.
And when I'm working, she comes to me and she needs to be snuggled so that my other dog, she's
Is that that little ball of fluff?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yes. But you know that animals, they know. They instinctively know. Look, let's go back. Let's talk about your family. So you were at home in Venezuela with your mom and dad, and who else was in your house?
My brothers and sister.
Okay. So how many brothers? You have two brothers?
I have one brother and two sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we are four, and I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Can you believe that?
You don't have older sibling energy.
I'm telling you, they always...
You have baby sister energy.
Ask my sister. She's a doctor. Right now she's in Spain, and every time she sees me, she said, you never changed. She was always responsible. I was always having fun. I was very smart, but I was always having fun. So she was kind of felt worried for me. So I don't have that big brother or sister energy at all.
And it's not. It's a compliment to you. It's a different kind of energy. And very often I can meet children that are the only child, and you just know. You know. Yeah. Yes, I'm not the oldest. No, they're normally wearing a cardigan. But yeah, you are. But no, you're a baby to me. You're always going to be a baby. So you trained to be a lawyer and went into the profession of law.
Oh my goodness, I love that time. I went to law school in Venezuela.
Where did that come from though? Is anyone in your family
I was
lawyers?
like 7 years. I always said that I wanted to be a lawyer.
You just like the idea of the suits and the heels.
Maybe. I love Ally McBeal.
Yes?
I love all
we
this
danced
series.
to Ally McBeal on our wedding night.
No way.
Yeah, that was our first dance. You're my first year, my last year, everything. We're in the bathroom, so I'm getting married and you're just a child. But when they used to dance together in the bathroom, so that was kind of our inspiration for our wedding dance.
But I don't know why. And this happens to me, like I told you, when I met Oscar, I said, he will be my husband. I felt it in my heart. Yeah. And I've always felt that I was going to be an attorney. And I was a real good one. I love law. I love our system, even though now it's a mess and I'm grateful I'm not there.
Yes.
But I had a great college years right before.
How many years of training?
5.
5 years. And
then
it's
a long career.
What genre of law were you in?
Well, I did family law, but I started working with an international firm. So we did pretty much everything. It was pretty nice.
You were a baby though.
I was a baby, but I don't know. I think I've been an old-souled and very mature and goal center. I remember I applied for that company and they said, well, you need at least more languages, They needed more. So I did French, I did Italian. Well, my mom is Italian. So I said, I'm gonna make this happen. So I couldn't get into Baker & McKenzie, which is well known internationally. The first years of my career, I had to do it at the end. Right. And that's where the fun part comes. Because when I finally make it, it's when I met Oscar.
Of course. And love dominated.
He was a big, big hit in my head because I work all of these years being a sociology teacher. Since year number 2. So after the first year of law school, you can start teaching. Okay. As a teacher assistant, but the problem is that in the university, the teachers sometimes they miss lots of classes. Yeah. Because they're in political positions in the country, and
it's a small country too, so
really rely on teacher assistants. Yeah. So. I did sociology, and I will never forget when I was teaching sociology in front of maybe 70 students, and I was only
all
20.
All in love with you?
Well, I don't know.
I can imagine.
I don't know, but I was shaking. I remember those first lessons. I didn't know how to start, but once I started, the flow was amazing, and I enjoyed it because I really love to study. And I study a lot. I love studying, and I love philosophy. And
you're passionate, so that comes across. If you can be a passionate teacher, you weren't jaded.
And I love teaching. Yes. I'm patient to teach, and I learn from whoever I'm teaching. Yeah. So it's a very beautiful experience I had. Actually, I was supposed to be a teacher there. But like I said, I met Oscar on my last year of law school, working finally at Baker & McKenzie after I did my languages.
What's the industry like there for women?
I'm sorry?
What is the law industry like there for women in Venezuela?
Oh, it's pretty equal. It's not like...
Is it really?
Yes. We have so many women attorneys. And actually, I had a boss that was a man and a boss that was a woman, and I still have a good relationship with her. Yeah, she's amazing.
Oh, and that's great. Yeah. But then you came here, you met Oscar.
I met Oscar there. He was visiting.
But then he was coming.
And then he said, you know what, this is not going to work if you're going to Italy. I was supposed to go to Bocconi for human rights. I wanted to do my master in human rights and political science, something, related to what I felt I was good at. And that's when I met him. I remember having
Daddy
everything
Oscar,
ready. I was
come on.
accepted.
Yeah.
My dad paid the first semester, which was very expensive.
Yeah.
And I met him.
And here we are.
And here we are. Because I've always knew that I wanted to
And
get married.
you couldn't bring the law to Florida?
No, it's a totally different system. Our law is Roman law. Here is English law.
So you'd have to
So
restudy
you
and
have
retrain.
to restudy.
Did
and
you
I
think?
tried,
I was going to say,
Carrie,
did you think about it?
twice, and I got pregnant. So I said, no more law for me.
You know how that happens. So you've got to use that. You're using those skills that you learn and that acumen that you had.
It's in me, Carrie.
Yeah.
What I've learned, it's in me. And even though I don't practice as an attorney here in the U.S., I practice it every day.
You think?
I do. Because law comes from the heart. It's common sense. So in my contracts with my clients and many situations that I have to deal
And diffusing.
every day, I have it here. Because the principles are the same for both systems. It's just that for practicing,
to have your license.
through two different.
You can do it.
ways.
So you've moved into realty, and obviously in the higher end market, and you fully embrace social media. You've embraced being seen. You make films. You have a team.
Out of
you
my
create the-
comfort zone.
Absolutely, but you know, I understand that, and I'm not going to take that away from you, because it's really annoying when you appear to be so good at something, and somebody says, "Well, you know that though, and
Carrie,
you're
I don't
this."
think I'm that
I
good
know, but you know,
still.
I've had it said to me too. But you know, it takes time and effort, and it's scary. Like this morning, I wanted to be sick about 3 times, you know, because of doing this, and this is my first time doing it. It doesn't just come like this, but you are really good at it, and whatever demons you're fighting, I always smile when I see you out there. And you know, my husband, although he's not a realtor per se, he's in it, and I feel like a Judas when I'm busy watching what you're doing. So I think, I should be looking at her, but she's really good at this, like, you know. And I think there was a little period when I first met you, and I think it was before you and your husband really started like showing up together. I'm like, you need that girl. She needs to come and work for you.
And that's you, Carrie. You know, that woman, inspiring, friend, empowering. I've been working with him for so many years.
Yeah.
But I've always been behind the scenes.
I feel like you're the boss lady now. You
Something.
split. Is it?
They keep asking me that because I'm
he-
the one that is handling the cameras, the social media, but he has been dealing with so many amazing transactions for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
And I work behind the scenes for so many reasons. First, I was not sure. At the beginning, I was not sure this is what I want to go, and that's why I said I'm going to study for to get into law school again, because that's my passion and I know that I'm good at it. It takes time sometimes to figure it out when you're in a different country with a different language and with different people. And I've always been very determined. Like I told you, I want to be a lawyer, but when I find myself here, when I'm not an attorney anymore, a good one, I'm no one. I'm just a mom.
Yeah.
So, but I love to work. You know, I'm active. I said, okay, I will start helping you. So I got my license many years ago, and I start helping him with contracts and in his office, assisting him in whatever he needs. Then he had a the property management department, and I handled 200 properties. I had to hire a manager, and then with all this craziness in the market, mostly by then, my clients were foreign nationals, Argentinians, Brazilians, Venezuelan, Colombian, from all over. They start selling their properties, and I found myself that this is not for me. I need to hire someone to take care of this, because this is just like basically repairing stuff, renewing the contracts, which I'm good at it, but sometimes you do it automatically and you're like, okay, what else?
It's not fulfilling you.
It was not fulfilling me.
Yeah. And you're a wasted back of house. You can do those things, but you have so much more to
for
give.
a reason. I think I've been growing as a human, as a professional. I got all the experience from many angles. And I remember it was right when COVID hits. I said, oh my God, the world's going to end. What am I going to do? How you're going to do? How am I going to keep helping you? We need to figure something out. And you know what I did? I bought so many books. And I finally got into that marketing course that I always wanted to do, but it was super expensive with a friend that she's from Spain. I remember it was like $3,000.
No, she's from Mexico.
No, not with Lila. I've been always working with her, but in the charity side with, other stuff. And I said, okay, I'm paying the course. I start like studying. And I realize I've been losing my time. Everything I've been doing is hiding behind him.
Yeah.
I'm helping him, I'm working, and people will reach out and say, can you tell Oscar? Will you ask Oscar? And I'm like, but I know the answer.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been doing this.
Why do you feel that you took a back seat behind Oscar?
Well, my kids were little, and I told you I always wanted to have a family. And I said I want time with them. And they were growing. They're only 13 and 12 now, so 14, I'm sorry, back then. I wanted to be with them, but I'm not, you know what? I'm not that mom that would be happy just staying home. I love being a mom, but I love to be active. I love to put my brain to function and do something else and have a goal and have a determination. So that's when I said, forget it. I have to be out. I cannot be behind you all the time. I felt I was a shadow for so many years, and he's not understanding it.
Yeah.
So I fired his social media guy, because if you saw at the company profile, we had so many followers, but everything is very corporative.
Yes. Now it's like Studio McGee. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a bad comparison, but that was the first person I thought of. Like, she's the boss. She's up in charge. She looks beautiful. She's in front of the camera. You listen to her because she's making sense. You talk about a property like, is the palace you've never seen before in your life, the way you present everything. And
even when they're not.
No, exactly.
And even when they're not.
I know.
You know that.
I know, sweetie. You're good with, and you say your English isn't your first language, but you're doing good with it. But what I love is it's impassioned. We're in a market that's saturated. Everyone's a realtor, but
a lot, many. Everybody wants to be a realtor.
Yeah, but I feel like you're breaking ground in your presentation.
Because I've always wanted to be different, Carrie.
Yeah.
You want to be the best photographer. You want to be the best version of yourself. So I said, what do I need to do to stop being a shadow? And not only being a shadow, step out of that shadow face that I was.
What do you think
but
was needed?
Also, being able to perform different out of so many. We have so many. And it's funny because now I don't feel I have competitors. And I know I do. But I'm so proud of what I've built, of what I work hard, that I'm okay.
But listen, as long as you're doing what you're doing and you're doing it right, you don't have competitors.
I do.
No, but listen, I think
but mostly are my friends.
It's a lesson we have to learn, that if you take care of your own self, then the business will take care of itself.
Absolutely.
Like, I think that there are many people that are very aware of their competitors. When they never reach out, they're not becoming your friend. I'm surrounded by photographers that don't visit me. Like, come see me. I'm not worried. I don't mind. You come see me. I want to hang out with you. I want us to sit and talk. I'm probably winding down my career, not trying to build it up. But the moment you feel wholly content and confident in the job that you're doing, the competitiveness disappears. It's good to feel competitive with your own self.
We go back to our soul signature.
Yes, right? Yes.
It's always going to be you. So now I feel like I do admire many agents, not many, some, that I see they do a great job, and I can count them in my hand, but they're thousands of realtors. So when I was trying to figure it out, studying, buying books, trying to figure it out inside of me, what can I do different to become not better, unique?
Yes. Be your own.
What I bring to the table.
Yeah.
I have this client that she reached out to me because she bought a house a month ago, and her friend realtor sold it. She sold it. She bought it. I don't remember, like $800,000. She paid overpriced, and now she said, I need to sell it. She didn't even move in, and she calls me desperately because she said, she's telling me that I need to list it for 700, for example, 700 or 720, whatever. I cannot lose that money. It's my daughter's, college funds. I'm going to lose her money. She said, widow. And I said, no, you're not going to lose it. How much do you pay again?
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about specifics because it's confidential. But I said, listen, you're not going to lose money because first, I don't understand how she sold a house a month ago.
Yeah.
And now you will have to list it
$100,000 less. It should be
50
going,
or 200,000 less.
It should be going up, not down.
That's ethics. Mm-hmm. That's ethics. How will you do that? No. I said, we're going to work on this. We're going to make sure the house is presented, pristine, beautiful. We're going to stage it. We're going to do this and that. And you're not going to lose money because that's my goal. My goal is not only to make a transaction. My goal is to
take care of her
and make a good decision.
Yeah.
I want you to be happy, and I don't want a client for only one-time transaction. I want a client forever. I want you to come to me all the time. You need to sell your home or to buy a home.
And she's going to talk about you and et cetera, word of mouth. I think that there's a lot of people in this industry that just want to show up for themselves. And sometimes I see videos and I see more of the realtor than I do of the property.
And I'm delicate with that.
Yeah. And no, but you're there enough and personable enough. And it's not about...
And also it's not about your physical.
Yes.
It's not about your probably... I had this conversation with my team the other day because I said, listen, I don't want my parts to show.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you are recording and that camera, and you know that better than me, the camera goes and you can see, here and there. I'm like, no, it's not about me. Remember? And I don't want to show that image. I want to sell to families.
But you need to be seen to be aspired to. And how you look represents how the property looks, okay?
Yes.
So yes, you do need, there's that balance between being seen a certain way. No, you can't rock up wearing a tracksuit and pumps as much as we'd love to. You have to look a certain way. You need to be presentable because it's like going to a hairdresser with bad hair. Like you don't trust them.
Also adapting to where you're living.
Yes,
because I see, for example, these shows in California or Miami. It's all about the bags, the shoes, the cars, the clothes.
All the stuff.
All the stuff. Orlando is a very family, yes.
There's this side of the neighborhood and that. I think there's two things. But in a world that's saturated with the insincere, fabricated personalities, and don't get me wrong, they've all got a soul behind all that. That's just a facade for something that they've forgotten about themselves. I think that you do show up in a really great way that looks good, but is also human. Yeah, but is a great person to be, where you can look how you look, but still not intimidate people. Yes. I've always said, like in my job as somebody who works in weddings or whatever, you don't want to make the woman in the room feel bad about herself, but you want her to love how you look.
Yes.
Even if it means they look up to you in a certain kind of way. So aspiration's not bad, but you also want them to just go, damn, I want to hate her, but I can't hate her. She's young, she's beautiful, but I love her anyway. I mean, I love everyone when I don't, but I love you. But so
I love you too.
What can you do different? Where have you seen an opportunity for you to make changes in an industry that's so saturated, that can be fickle, that is always in danger of...
Carry values.
Yeah.
Values is my north. And respect. Always being a human first and understanding, your clients' needs and their situations. I've learned through these years being in luxury real estate that the more money you have, the more problems sometimes will show. And I had to sometimes work like a psychologist, you start learning from people things that you don't want to know, and you ended up knowing because they're doing one of the most important transactions of their life. There's a lot of money involved in their... Yes. So I've learned a lot, but I think being elegant in any way, presenting the property, representing your client's vision and expectations, even when sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah.
Because I have so many situations when I have, I will never forget a couple of.
Yes, tell me story.
Yes, very short stories, but they will say that their house, let's give you an example that's like 2.5 million and the house is worth 1.8, for example.
Yeah.
And they tell you that there's no way you're going to list it for that price because they're hiring you. And I already did the comps based on a square feet, upgrades, all the features. I have experience. We have not done this for the past 2 years. We have done it for 20.
Yeah.
And we have been selling a lot in Windermere area, Winter Park, luxury areas. So when they come and they tell you how much their property is worth.
It's because some unprofessional realtors told them that.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Or maybe CeeLo, that you cannot trust in CeeLo. Because if you put a crazy price in there, it will do some numbers that are not the right ones for you. So you know what I learned? At the beginning, I will be very shy and I will be quiet and I will do my job. Of course, I do the drone, I do everything. And I talk about all these features and sometimes I sell it that overpriced. But now in my meetings, in my listing presentation meetings, I will say, listen, I have to be honest with you. And this is what your house is worth. Whatever you want me to, if you're pushing me right now, if you are pushing me to do this, I will try my best to get it, but I cannot promise you that because your comps are not helping. Yeah. So let's do something. I'm going to help you. I'm going to try my best. But if it's not happening, it's not my fault. You have to understand your reality. And that's life. You have to understand where you are standing at. And I can try my best, but sometimes, and it's 50-50. There are chances that there's some, new families coming from the Northeast. They don't care about the market. They have tons of money in cash and they bought a house and they didn't even care about comps. Yeah. So boom, they're lucky, they're happy, but sometimes they're not.
But
sometimes
you feel better about being you and doing
telling
what you
the
did.
truth.
Yes,
from the beginning.
And more people need to do that. I think people are afraid to tell the truth. I think
the time.
You'll get a lot more respect and longevity in your career if you stand by your principles and be honest and have integrity.
Yes.
How can you just? And I see it a lot. We all see it. I mean,
we'll see it in our everyday life.
Yeah.
With everything that we do, people sometimes it's hard for them to be honest, and that's my north. That's why I tell you, values is my north.
And where do you think
Honesty.
that comes from? Does it come from how you were raised?
How I was raised.
Yeah.
Yes, I come from a very different family. My dad is Cuban, my mom is Italian, and I was born in Venezuela.
That's a feisty house.
Very.
You have to say that with a big accent. I love Venezuela.
Venezuela, yes. We are.
Wow.
I come from two amazing human beings. Yes. My mom was always very humble, very honest, and my dad too. So I don't feel okay when people lie, when people do what I was telling you about this client just to make a commission. My job is not only to make a commission. I'm fortunate enough that I don't like just to make the money and lie to people.
Yeah.
I want you to have a good experience and I want to go to my bed happy.
Yeah.
Sleep good. Know that I did good, that I did my job.
Yeah.
That I did it right.
And doing good takes us to your philanthropy.
Oh,
and
I love it.
Obviously, this past year, you were the chairman for the Red Wine and what was it? Red Shoes?
No,
what was it?
The Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Wine, Women, and Shoes
for the Florida Cancer.
And I was there, but
yeah.
Sorry, perfect.
Yes.
But so you're involved more, and and lots of other charities, and I see you popping up at all the different places. You're a great supporter. Like we mix in all of those circles. I don't have lots of money to give, so I give my time and expertise, and I'm a good networker. I can raise it.
You are.
Yeah, I have no problem. Give me your money. And I'm fine with doing that for the right cause.
I did for a year. Give me your money. Give me your money to everyone.
I know.
Give me your wine. Give me your shoes. Give me everything for this cause. But it's a beautiful cause, Carrie.
Yes.
It's a beautiful cause because we all have friends or family that have gone through cancer, and this foundation, it's just unreal. And my friend Raul,
I know, he's fabulous.
He's handsome, smart, and also a huge heart. And he got me into this. He said,
How did you know this man?
Well, he's Oscar's friend from childhood.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Yes, he's, I call him double doctor because he was a doctor in Venezuela and he's a doctor here. So he went through, for example, like me, I did 5 years in Venezuela. He overdid again and he rocks it. He has his own clinic in Vero Beach and he is very philanthropic and he knows that I love that. And I've been supporting so many other causes. And he said, Danny, help me with Orlando area, help me with this event. And now he's proposing me for next year. And I'm like, I don't know.
I'm never doing this again.
I don't know if I'm ready to do this again because I have a life and I have so many things, but he knows that in my heart, I love to help. And I love to really make this world a little bit less lost.
Yeah, it's so hard, isn't it? If you can touch one person,
it's okay.
And that will just keep paying
And you know
forward.
that what they do with this money that we raise, we pay the rent, cell phone, food, like any bills that the cancer patient is, responsible for.
What's the charity, just for the people listening?
Yeah, it's Florida Cancer Foundation, and you can apply if you have cancer yourself, or if you have a family or a friend that is going through this and is struggling paying their bills. Housing bills, your car, your lease, whatever, telephone bill. And you apply with your 2 last tax returns and, you fill out an application and I will help, and they do whatever it's need to cover everything for them. That way they only concentrate in their treatment because, chemo, radio or immunotherapy, they have all these side effects. So people are not well to work.
No.
And they are doing it. They have to.
Is it the same in Venezuela as here that you have to pay for everything and you need insurance? Or is there some sort of health system?
No, it's the same. But in Venezuela, pretty much everyone, they own their houses. Here, everybody, finances. There, you don't owe your car, you don't owe your house, you just pay whatever the cost is. So...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Because in Europe, obviously we have the health system in all of the countries, I think, in Europe. I think you're covered. See, in parts, you need some insurance, especially if you're a visitor. But a lot of people in Europe rent. They don't own their property.
That's true. In Venezuela, mostly people own. They don't rent.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So is it quite a wealthy country, or is it just a completely different price point to get onto the property market?
We would have to do another podcast to talk about Venezuela because it's a different world. It's a different system.
And is that what brought you out of Venezuela?
No, and that's the craziest thing that I'm so grateful because... like I said, I was very attached to my roots, to my country, to my family. I was teaching at the university. I was supposed to go do my master, come back, teach, and work for Baker and McKenzie. So I was ready to build a future, to keep going. And when all of this started, I've never thought it was going to get this bad. Yeah. Like I've always had hope. We will have someone who will stop this guy and will fix whatever needs to be fixed. But no, Carrie, it's been years.
Well, I mean,
like you say,
that's
another podcast. That's another story.
That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
So I know that you're involved with a charity and you're also involved in so many other more. But talk to me about you. And obviously you've gone on this journey and you've reinvented your company with your husband. And I feel that you really did reinvent it. Where do you see yourself? What aspirations do you have? Because yes, your children are still very young right now. And I feel in this period of your life, having been there and done it, I feel that you're just doing life and you're enjoying life more in the moment and you are just getting things done and trying to make things happen. I think as they get older and they go later into high school and they start going off to college, then you start going, oh, what's next? Where am I going to go? What are my plans? And, in that period of a decade, that can completely change.
Yes.
Do you have a vision for yourself? Do you have a vision for your future? You do.
I do.
Okay, let me put my feet up. Let me hear all about this.
I've always had a vision of myself. Yeah. It's like I always need to know where am I going. And sometimes I even wonder if I'm going to be in Orlando. So I want to keep working because I want to keep my mind busy. I love what I'm doing. I love what I do. And I think I will keep going. My kids are going to grow. Hopefully I'm going to be alive to see that. And of course, I want to have more free time, but I would love to get into more charities, and I want to keep myself busy. I don't want to be bothering my kids. I don't want to be that crazy mom that doesn't know what to do. And probably that's why I've been all the time so eager to do something, to have a project. I don't think I will stop right there.
I see you growing a little empire.
That would be fun.
But I feel like the world needs more of your energy, especially in the realty market.
Yes.
It's just so identikit. It's like I know some brilliant people in the industry.
Too.
We both do. And they are quietly making this path. But there's also lots of people trying to. This is another conversation I had earlier on today about a different industry. I think what we are missing is the basic principle. Although, yes, I do believe you can do anything.
Passion.
But you need to go and get educated in that thing.
Besides,
a lot of people are rocking up. It's easy to go and get the license.
They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
And
what experience matters.
Yeah, and what they do, they take less integrity away from the industry. Like photography, for example. Everyone's a photographer. So, but no, you're not, because I see you online not knowing how to light something, shooting a wedding, then the dog ate your memory card, so you've lost somebody's special day. You're never going to see that again. There's all these fundamental things. We all make mistakes. I've made some. But I feel like there's a lack of direction and education, and this is why we're here. I want someone to sit here and listen to you. And
you
go,
have to continue evolving, learning. Yeah. Carrie, I have like 5 books.
So that's how you're teaching yourself. Obviously you went to college to be in law, but you read and you're growing and you're listening to podcasts like me.
Yes.
And
yes, I'm reading this book. It's Adam, his name, but I forgot his last name, about your hidden potential. No, I just bought it at the airport last weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, eating it. Your hidden potential. I still feel we all have hidden potential.
Yeah.
Even when you try hard and when you discover yourself and people say, I'm proud of you, you're doing amazing. I always feel there's something more. There's something more. There's something better. And, it's kind of difficult because as a human being, you have also to be grateful and control that feeling of not enough.
But listen.
But at the same time, it's a driver.
This is our personality.
Yes.
I envy sometimes the people that are just content.
With whatever they do.
Well, there are some people that have never left home, never left the town, never left the place, never changed anything. When I feel like I can tell you what I'm going to be doing for the next 12 months, I'm having a panic attack.
Carrie,
I do not want to see my life in 5 years from now and it looked like this.
Exactly.
I just be doing the same thing. I just look much older.
Yes.
I want to keep changing and keep
learning. Learning.
Yes.
Learning never stops. And if you stop learning, you're going to left behind. It's like, for example, in this industry, if you don't get into social media, because I have to tell you, I have to be honest, I'm not a millennial. I'm not good at social media. I learned.
It's the Gen Z.
I'm not that generation that learn like, my little one.
But you know how to delegate. You get people in. You're doing that.
No, Carrie, but I also learned that to delegate, because in the beginning of the company, when social media started, with everything that started, we delegated to someone that was put in an image that I was not, that it was not what I needed. It was not me. Now I can feel I can delegate because I learn how to do it, and I can teach, or I can tell you where I want to go. Whatever post, whatever email, whatever marketing material, whatever poster, magazine, ad, whatever, it has to be reviewed by me. It has to have my soul signature.
You see, you are a leader and a shaker and a teacher already in this industry, and you have to just keep bringing that. We're going to finish up here now, although I want to see episode 2 and 3 and 4 and talk to you again.
Yes.
Just keep sharing this stuff and keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
I want other people in your industry to watch what you're doing because you're doing it well.
Thank you.
Please maintain that integrity. I know you always will. Yes. And hopefully people like you doing what you do will make the rest of the industry much better. We can't fix the world right now, but you can fix your little corner. And I think by doing that, hopefully it has a knock-on effect.
Yes, a bigger effect.
You're a great inspiration to all the women out there.
You too. You're a great inspiration for everybody around you.
Your boys are going to grow up with such a wonderful vision of what it means to be a woman. And I love that, because whoever they end up with, you know, they're going to be great men to
hopefully. I'm
to
praying for it and working hard for it too in this world.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
I love you. You know I do. And you're amazing. And
I love you.
Yes, I look forward to seeing your podcast.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much.